Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Work in Progress Wednesday on the Midwest Miniature Guy Show. Just playing a little Dropkick Murphys there, and I'm sure they'll, mute that, but whatever, I don't care. Go ahead and do what you do, Twitter. I'm playing some music, darn it, to open my show. Anyway, hope you all have had a wonderful first part of your week. And slipping and sliding into the weekend here. We had nothing but rain yesterday. It rained all day yesterday, on top of snow. It was good that we got the rain, but holy crap! Waking up this morning and taking my dogs outside. Thankfully, we have a nice big backyard. But our deck was nothing but an ice rink, and so the scritchy scratch of little toenails, doggy toenails on the deck was tons of fun. It finally ended up warming up, and the stuff melted and whatever. But it's freezing outside. It's like it's stupid cold. It's like in the minuses right now because we've got like 40 to 60 mile an hour wind gusts coming through. So yay, February in Minnesota. And what do I got this weekend? I've got Con of the North this weekend. And I've been trying to get stuff packed up, but I also wanted to stream tonight. But I've got a lamp that I got to get packed up, and I've got brushes and paints and basing material. I got all kinds of stuff that I need to get packed up and ready for Con. And I don't have. Normally I would do it tomorrow, but my wife got tickets to the comedy show tomorrow night, so I can't do it then. So I got to go and do that. So I got to try and get everything kind of packed up after stream tonight, and at least get some of it moved upstairs so that on Friday morning I can just haul it all out and go pick up my booth buddy, or she's actually supposed to meet me here, and then we haul butt down to the con, which thankfully is only like 35 or 40 minutes away, depending on traffic in the morning. And then we should be golden. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. We are going to be painting up some more Outlaws and Law Dogs here. So we started on Monday. I had kind of started doing the slap chop method, which is what you kind of see on this one here. And then on good old Buffalo Bill Cody here, is we actually started doing some more layering and highlighting and stuff like that. So I used a little bit of buckskin. I used 3 different paints actually. I used chestnut gold, and then palomino gold, and then buckskin pale on his coat and chaps, and then I used mostly buckskin pale and some white on his hat and gloves. Kind of doing the same with this guy. This wonderful gunslinger here, at least for his coat anyway. First, his pants we're going to do a little bit different, and same with his hat. But we got to get some skin tones on these as well. So we got 7 of these that we're working on. So let's go ahead and get to it. I think for his pants, because they're more of a reddish brown, I think I'm going to go with some. Maybe we'll do it that way instead. That's a little bit. So we're going to do a little bit of harvest brown, orange brown, burnt orange for his pants. I'm also trying to use some of these same colors on the others here too, so we've got a make good use of our paints. That did not shake up well. Let's try that again. Hey, that's better. It's better. Pokey thingy. Oh, I had a big glob and dried mess in there. There we go. Devious Dungeons, hey, how you doing, sir? Good to see ya. Alright, so we're starting with our Harvest Brown here. Fuzz on the end of my brush. There we go. Thank you. Yeah, I had fun with that one. Turned out well. We'll see how it does. Because I haven't seen any other entries yet. So we're trying to keep as much shadow in there as we can. I think it's Sunday. I think they're trying to get as many entries in as possible. They're a relatively new company. I think they've been around for just a couple of years. So I think they're trying to get as many entries in as they possibly can. I mean, shoot, I could probably grab the open category figure and paint it this weekend too, but you know, let the other folks have fun. I don't need to win. I really don't. I'm not normally in it for competitions anyway. It's fun to do every once in a while. Like, geez, for like 9 years there, I was doing competition pieces every year, just for the for the fun of it, because they would give away tickets to the next year's convention, and then I could, if I won one of the categories or whatever, I could take that that ticket or whatever and give it to somebody that really wanted to go. Because I pay for my booth anyway, so I don't need a ticket. And then COVID happened, and the place that was normally running the painting competitions decided not to come back. At least for a while anyway. And Daedalus kind of stepped in and said, we'll do one, but you have to paint one of our figures that we print. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. Keeps it fair. Alright, so there's our Harvest Brown. I like that brown. It's a good combination there. I'll like it. I think I'm going to do his boots this way. Like that. Oh, let's see. What's her? I did that in snakebite leather. That's darker brown there. Same with her gun belt. And her boots. So we'll move on to somebody else here. Whoa. And snakebite leather. Black. Very interesting. She's actually wearing a badge. The Western Minis are for my Outlaws and Law Dogs game that I quote-unquote created. I took a few game mechanics from D&D 3.5 along with a game mechanic from GURPS and then the firearm ranges from Spycraft, and I kind of just shoved them together. There's no magic per se. You can be a magician, but you're more like sleight of hand Carney magician, because it takes place in 1899 U.S. And I'm using the map from Red Dead Redemption 2 as my world. So I'm just stealing stuff from all over the place and created this kind of weird little Western game. But I wanted some minis for it. And Reaper had quite a few, and I know that there's other companies out there that have them too. I can't remember what they were right now, but yeah. So basically, you have what your original occupation was, like say you were a doctor or you were a cook or whatever, a bank teller. But then you also have your outlaw occupation, so it's kind of like you've got different skill sets for both. And then the lawmen are the NPCs, of course, because they're after the outlaws. I don't think anybody would want to play a lawman per se unless they wanted to do like player versus player kind of a thing. But we've run one session so far, and I was only meaning it to be like a 3 or 4 session deal. Basically, they're doing a train heist. So, but I wanted some minis, and this was a good enough time to go and get them. I actually have 3 more coming. So instead of the 14, I'll have 17 Western style minis showing up here pretty soon. Alright, so we're actually going to mix our orange brown here into our harvest brown. Non-fantasy settings can be really fun. I have played Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I've played Cyberpunk, Star Wars, what's the other one? Spycraft. We're playing Mutants and Masterminds is another episodic system that my friend Greg is running. We played Vampire the Masquerade, Mage. So yeah, we've played a ton of different TTRPGs. I've just been playing a lot of Red Dead Redemption on my PS4 lately, and I was like, God, I really want to play this as like a tabletop. And I thought about, oh, I could go out and get Savage Worlds or Deadlands or something like that, but I haven't. I want to go out and buy just a new system. I thought, well, let's keep it a system that we kind of know, and then try something different with it though. You played tons of them, but I'm getting terrified of getting into one due to buying more terrain and minis. Yeah, well, there's that, right? When we were playing Star Wars, my buddy John was running that once to twice a year for us because he's from Milwaukee, so him and our friend Eric would show up from there and he'd run Star Wars for us, and I went and found, um, I think most of them were plastic, so they didn't cost me a whole lot. And a couple of them were like hero clicks and stuff like that that I found in like the bits bin at a local game store for like 50 cents or something. And so I bought up a bunch of those, cut them off their bases, and then drilled out their hands for the lightsabers and blasters and stuff. One of them I actually created, they wanted to play a Twi'lek. I'm like, I don't have a Twi'lek. What am I going to do with this? And they wanted to play a sniper. And so I found a great looking female sniper from Reaper in the bones material, and I sculpted on a couple of Laku, their head tails, with green stuff. So the mini itself cost me like $2 or something like that. And I already had the green stuff, so. And I don't do a whole lot with terrain. Most of my stuff is just minis, but I've got trees and I've got some hills and stuff like that. But I don't go full Dwarven Forge or anything. It's too expensive for me to do or to even build. I'm not a builder by any means. I don't craft stuff like that. I'm amazed at the folks that can scratch build towers and castles and whatnot, because that just blows me away. I look at it and go, I understand the concept of what they're doing, but my math skills suck, so I wouldn't be able to measure stuff out the way it should. Alright, now we got our orange brown. I'm going to mix that in with our burnt orange here. Again, it's all about gradients for me. Gradients. I watched somebody build like a 1/16th scale version of the castle from Kingdom Age of Deliverance, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I don't have the skills for that. They're like, oh, we're just going to take this, we're going to do this, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I totally understand what you're saying. My mind doesn't work like that. So, Devious, you can build me the stuff and I'll paint your stuff. How about that? I'm going to need a western town by next week. Can you do that? And you just make it look exactly like roads from Red Dead Redemption 2. And a sheriff's department. That's too. That's a WizKid style deadline. I won't do that to you. That's the other thing, too. Like Blind Jedi said that he was going to send me some Malifaux figures that were a Mexican gang. I'm like, oh, cool. Mexican gang stuff. Wild West Mexican gang. I can use those for my Lobos. What do you think of those pants? You liking them? I think I need to highlight right in through here a little bit more. Catch those wrinkles. There we go. Yeah, they are fiddly, that's for sure. I suppose he's sending me the box too, so they're probably not assembled. So I gotta figure out how to put those little buggers together. I did one commission work where that's all I did was assemble Malifaux stuff. And I was like, oh, I'd rather paint. Yeah, it takes you longer to put them together than it does to actually paint the stupid things. My buddy Trey from Redbox Games, excuse me, is he's normally worked in pewter, and then that got too expensive, so he was switching to plastic, and then even that was getting too expensive for him, so now he's thinking about just doing STL files for all the figures that he's coming up with. And he was asking folks today, do you want these modular, or do you want them like all in one piece? And I'm sure a few folks were like, oh, make them modular, that way we can, mix and match what we want to put on these. And I'm like, just make them one piece, just so we can print them in one piece. Love of God. Don't make me have to assemble more stuff. Alright, I think his pants look pretty darn good. I'm not going to mess around with them anymore. We'll do his boots real quick here. They're going to be kind of scuffed up anyway. These are outdoorsmen. I gotta get some water. Hang on. Oh, there we go. Alright, we're going to work on some of the black parts here. I've been working on a bunch of giant fungus mushroom terrain scatter pieces. That's cool. Alright, so we're going to grab some Corvus Black here. It's kind of like a really, really dark gray. Very dark gray. We're just going to grab a little bit here, because we're going to work on Doc Holliday. Alright, he's going to probably portray one of my special agents from the Pinkerton Detective Agency. But they called him Doc Holliday from Reaper, so whatever. Just gonna do a little outlining here. Yeah, Lee Van Cleef, absolutely. If I had 7 players for this game, we could totally do a Magnificent 7 campaign. That's what I'd do anyway. Maybe when my 5e guys we're done with that campaign, maybe that's what I'll do. Or I'll have somebody else run for a while. Trying to draw from as much Western knowledge that I can. I was never a huge Western fan, but some of my favorite movies were Silverado. I liked Tombstone, Young Guns. Unforgiven was pretty good, especially like the last few minutes of that movie. Had to go back and watch some of the others, like The Magnificent Seven, even like some old TV shows, like or what was it, Wagon Train, Gunsmoke, stuff like that. The old John Wayne westerns. Who's that one that my father-in-law was actually in How the West Was Won. He was an extra in it when he was a young man. Many years ago. Blind Jedi, how are ya? I have to watch the Clint Eastwood Fistful of Dollars trilogy, yeah. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. My stepdad was a huge Clint Eastwood fan. I think he probably had watched Pale Rider like 1,000 times. Whenever that movie was on, he was always watching it. Yeah, I was just telling Devious Dungeon, like my favorite movie, Western movies, Tombstone, Silverado. You get the first Young Guns. Never cared for the second one that much, but the first Young Guns movie I thought was great. And then Unforgiven. But yeah, some of the older ones too. Just you have to go back and watch those just because they're kind of classics. 310 to Yuma was another good one. Both the older one and the remake was very good. I remember watching that. Shane, yep. See, now you got me thinking of ideas too for scenarios for these guys when we get back to playing again. Hang 'em high. Oh, jeez, yeah. TV show Have Gun Will Travel or Paladin, whichever you. Just remember Two Meals for Sister Sarah. Yeah. You know what? I started reading some Western. Cormac McCarthy's Blood Meridian was a gruesome masterpiece of a Western novel. Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I haven't heard of that one, but I used to read Louis L'Amour and Zane Grey were my stepdad's two favorite authors for westerns. Westerns. Can't can't speak anymore. I talked all day at work. Um, he used to read those all the time, so I got into not so much Zane Grey, but I liked Louis L'Amour's work. And then I was reading. Oh yeah, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Absolutely. I was reading a history of um, uh, Jim Bowie. Holy cow! What an interesting individual. Not a nice man. Oh, the Outlaw Josie. What? Jeez, yeah. There's so many good ones, right? There's so many good movies out there. Yeah, Jim Bowie was not a nice man when it came to fighting. he I've heard Open Range was really good. I have not seen it. No, I got that song going through my head though. Have gun will travel, it's the card of a man. So I really like the Corvus Black. It's a nice dark gray color. Lends itself very well to highlighting. Once Upon a Time in the West. Yeah, I heard that was a good one too. I haven't seen that one yet. Oh, Deadwood. Yeah, I heard that one was good too. I hadn't seen it. Of course, at the time we didn't have cable, so I couldn't watch it. Now we've got the dish. I'll probably try and find it somewhere. I've been through Deadwood, South Dakota too, and that place is interesting. Um, I actually went to the cemetery there and found some of the gunslingers' graves. And holy cow, is that place. It's a little creepy. Like, just the town in general. Like, going through it, I felt like, this place has seen some stuff, right? But yeah, some good movies and good TV shows all around there. I did not. We didn't stick around that long to see anybody get thrown out of the casinos. So, God, that's a great idea. I should play some Johnny Cash when we're role playing my game. It's a great idea. Play some Johnny Cash. Actually, you could do. I could try and just go on YouTube and find some Western ambiance music too, like the what was it? That commercial, the beef. It's what's for dinner commercial. Yeah, we did a whole South Dakota trip, a few years ago, and we stayed just north of Custer State Park. Beautiful area. It's one of those places where I was like, ooh, if I ever, if I ever retire, if I ever have enough money, I'm gonna just retire here. The Ecstasy of Gold for the final showdown. I'll have to try and remember that one. I was thinking, since it's gonna be a train heist, I gotta find a good, maybe find some good train heist music. Maybe something from 310 310 to Yuma, maybe. All right, so I'm taking a little Dark Reaper. It's kind of a blue gray, and I'm mixing it into my Corvus Black here. good and mixed in. Because I think, what I might do, I might use this Dark Reaper here actually to pinstripe his coat and pants. Oh, okay. The Ecstasy of Gold is the music in the final showdown of Good, Bad, Ugly. Metallica used to open their shows with it playing. Oh, that's interesting. It's a fun little bit of trivia there. Thanks, man. So speaking of music, and like especially like first concerts, right? My first big rock concert was Mr. Big, Great White, and the Scorpions. I think I was 15. It was pretty excellent. I didn't know who Mr. Big was, by the way. I had no clue who they were. I mean, I do now. I know who Billy Sheehan, the bass player, is for sure, because now he's in the Winery Dogs with one of my favorite drummers. That's Mr. Mike Portnoy. Here's just Anthrax, Halloween, and Exodus. Nice. There is a good thrash metal concert there for you. Yeah, my second concert was, if I remember correctly, it was Van Halen for the For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge tour, and they got a hometown band to open for them. The little hometown band was called Alice in Chains, so that was freaking cool. Yeah, Alice in Chains opening up for Van Halen. It was awesome. Live at the I had both those concerts I saw at the Tacoma Dome in Tacoma, Washington, and then I got to see Queensryche during their Operation Mindcrime tour with what was like the Empire tour, but they were doing the full Operation Mindcrime album, and I saw that at the Seattle Center Arena, back where the Supersonics used to play some basketball, and that was 91 and 92. It was New Year's Eve, and I remember them coming out on stage at midnight, stating that it was midnight. It was now 1992, and they just killed it. Great concert. Jeff Tate back then too. His vocals are just amazing. That entire band was amazing. Oh yeah. Paul Gilbert is a great guitar player. He's still out there doing a ton of stuff. I follow him every once in a while too, just to see what he's doing. He is a heck of a guitar player. He was playing guitar. It's kind of funny because him and Mike Portnoy have done some stuff together, and he played guitar. It was him and Portnoy and Neil Morse, along with oh shoot, it was some other guy on bass, and I can't remember his name right now. But they did the whole what they call it, yellow custard something. But it was their tribute to the Beatles, and it was all Beatles tunes. Yeah, he just came out with the instrumental Dio tribute album. Just saw that, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, Billy Sheehan was their bass player, and now Billy Sheehan, of course, is also playing with Mike Portnoy and the Winery Dogs with Richie Kotzen. Sorry, mini painting stream, still painting minis, just talking music. So, that's what happens when you get a drummer that also paints. So, um, yeah, the final concert, like we used to go to a thing called oh shoot, what was it called? It was something in the park. I can't remember what it was called, but anyway, the Seattle Center Mural Amphitheater every Friday night would do free concerts. And so we got to see a bunch of local bands that were playing, and then they would have like one national headliner. So we got to see Grun Truck and a few other like crazy grunge slash metal bands. It was put on by the local hard rock station, which was KISW, Seattle's best rock. And so yeah, we would go to that every once in a while when we could get down there. But my last big concert in, I guess I can't say my last big concert. Because I also got to see Audio Adrenaline and the Orange County Supertones and a few others too. When I worked at a bookstore, I got free tickets to get to go to that. But the last really, really big concert, besides that I saw in Seattle, was Motorhead, Metallica, and Guns N' Roses. 7.5 hours long. It was Motorhead played 30 minutes. Metallica played close to like 3.5 hours, something like that, 3 hours. And then Guns N' Roses came on and played for like maybe an hour or something like that. Axl dicked around, threw his microphone, and then finally stormed off stage after playing maybe 5 songs. And I vowed that while I loved Guns N' Roses music, can't stand them to see them live. And the last, yeah, this I was kind of done with Guns N' Roses there for a while. Motorhead, that's their entire catalog. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, they play super fast. Yeah, it was just 3 of them too. I'm like, how is 3 people putting on this much sound? When I moved over here to Minneapolis, I went to a few local music joints around here. I got to see Matthew Sweet, which was pretty cool. I got to see a bunch of really cool blues guys, local musicians who are phenomenal. And then I've gotten to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra twice. But my last big rock concert was Rush for their Snakes and Arrows tour. I loved that. That was great. Went with my friend Eric. I have like three friends Eric, so it was one of the. My friend Eric was a huge Rush fan. I was like, "We gotta go." I'm like, "We're going." Other than that, I've been playing music more than going and seeing it. So, all right. So this is mostly Dark Reaper. I'm gonna add just a little bit of that black in, just a touch. And then I'll probably use all Black Reaper to do the pinstriping here. Oh yeah, Primus, there you go. I've always wanted to see Dream Theater, and I had a ticket to go see them when I still lived out in Seattle. I remember buying it. I got home, I took my jacket off, I reached in to grab my ticket, and it was gone. It had fallen out of my jacket somewhere in between me buying it and getting home. And I was so angry because I didn't have the money to buy another ticket. Because I was just a dumb kid. And then I keep seeing them they're gonna be here in Minneapolis. Yeah, on like a Wednesday. I'm like, I'm streaming for you guys, man. I can't go out on a Wednesday. The heck? You got to see Pantera during the Far Beyond Driven tour. Cool. Walked out with a drumstick and a guitar pick from Dime. That's awesome. See, that's the good stuff. That's the cool memories, man. It did suck. It sucked a lot. I I was very upset for quite a few days after losing that ticket. You're pretty sure you injured someone who tried to take the drumstick away from you. Yeah, well, you're at a Pantera concert. Surprised no many. I'm surprised nobody else got hurt just being there. He threw it and it landed in the security area and bounced right into my hand. Like four people tried to take it from me. I'm amazed it didn't break. Yeah, no kidding. I think that's the one thing that our kids are, at least my kid is missing out on. She's not much into like the hard rock or heavy metal or anything like that. She likes some classic rock, especially if she's traveling around with me or whatever. But um, like, there's a few kids that they haven't been to a real rock concert. You know, I remember taking my daughter to um, see Trans-Siberian Orchestra. She's like, I should be okay, Dad, because, I went and saw Demi Lovato with my friend, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you haven't been to a rock concert. Yeah, but this is Trans-Siberian Orchestra. We listen to them every Christmas. I'm like, yep, but you haven't been to see them live. And they hit the first few notes, and the lasers are going, and she honestly has a panic attack. I think she was like 8, 8 or 10 or something like that. And she just freaks. And I had to take her kind of down towards the bathroom area in the XL Energy Center here, and I was like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "Oh, I'm okay. I'm okay. I don't think I want to go home. I want to go home." I'm like, listen, we paid for the tickets. We can't just take off. We got, you'll be okay. And she made it through, and then when she got older, she got a job. She ended up almost going every year and seeing them. So it was pretty funny. Devious says, I got 2 guitar picks and gave one to my friend that went with me. Nice. That's cool too, man. That's awesome. Alright. Is there any other black that I needed to do? Her hair. You were graveyard shift at the time. I had to go straight to work after the show. Your ribs are bruised from getting crushed against the security barrier the whole show. Ouch. Dang. It's dedication right there, man. Totally worth it. Absolutely. Any other black pieces here? Nope. Belt. Nope. Okay. It was so loud you put Kleenex in your ears? Yeah. That was one thing that I thought was very impressive about the Motorhead, Metallica, and Guns N' Roses. When we first got in there, Motorhead was already playing. And I was unfamiliar with their music at the time. So I was like, who are these guys? And my friend's like, oh, this is Motorhead. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm like, they're loud, they're fast, whatever. I'm not super impressed. I mean, I got to, you know, listen to them more later. Um, but Metallica, their sound guy, was pretty phenomenal. Really made it sound very good, um, very clean. And we were in the Kingdom too at the time too, so we were already told like, oh, the sound's gonna suck. Um, but no, it sounded like a live album. It was amazing. Their sound people were great. Let's see. Blind Jedi says it is amazing how many of these bands are still rocking decades later. Recently saw both Styx and ZZ Top, and they were fantastic. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And they're better. Like they just keep getting progressively better too. Every once in a while, you know, like they may have to get a different singer. Um, because like Boston for a while was out there still doing shows, but they had like three singers to do what the one guy did. And Jeff Tate, unfortunately for Queensryche, I mean, they booted him out of the band, but you know, he's out there with the whole Jeff Tate's Queensryche, and he's not great. His vocals, unfortunately, have gone to pot. But then you got the singers that know it. They're like, you know what? I know I can't hit these notes anymore. So tell you what, we're gonna do it in this key instead. And that's what Rush did to an extent. Like Geddy Lee just couldn't hit those notes anymore after his throat issues, and so they started doing some of their songs in different keys so that he could sing it. The last Bon Jovi tour was a disaster. I heard that John can't keep up anymore. Of course, they also got rid of Richie Sambora too. He left. He's probably done with John's crap. But not at all. Yeah, that's too bad. Richie was a great singer. I don't know if he still is or not, but he's a great singer. This is going to be very subtle. You're barely going to be able to see these pinstripes, unfortunately. I just didn't make them bright enough. I might have to go back and brighten them up a little bit. Or they'll just be nice and subtle. Should be okay. Take you. Devious says he wants to take his kids to a Guar show. That I haven't even been to a Guar show. I've got a buddy of mine that's been a couple times. Guar. I can't believe they're still around either. You've been to 4? Holy cow. Yeah, my friend Chris is a huge Guar fan. He's been to several. That and him and my other friend Chris are both Insane Clown Posse fans too, which I think is hilarious. Oh, they used to. Yeah, all with the original singer. Yeah, they used to come to your town every Halloween. Oh, that's crazy. That's awesome. What a fun Halloween show. Like I said, I'm just trying to pinstripe here. And unfortunately, it's coming out very subtle. I don't know if you guys can see it. Can you see it at all? Oh, you can. Just barely. Just some little stripes on his coat there. I may have to add a little bit of white just to... Or maybe some gray. Maybe some gray. Yeah. Too old to get up front now. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I've been playing more shows than I've been going to see, so... In fact, we got a gig coming up next Friday night. And then we have a gig on the 4th, and then we have a gig on the 11th, and then we have a gig on the 17th, and again a gig on the 18th. And I just got an email about a gig on April 11th or 15th. So yeah, we're busy. I'm gonna have to take May and just not do anything. We're even booked in into August right now. Busy, busy, busy. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to lighten that up a little bit, but I can highlight the hat. I saw Dio play in a bar circa 1994. Nice. That's cool. I'm going to grab a little bit of Dusky Skin highlight here. I'm going to mix this into our Dark Reaper. There we go. They were playing on a 12-inch riser and I was still taller than him. I mean, he's pretty tiny. What was he, like 5'4"? Yeah, now we can see it. performed like he was playing in front of 50,000 people, not 200. Yeah. Just let it all out, man. I'm happy when we get 50 people in a bar. It's always nice. Sorry, I'm trying to keep it in the camera here. Yeah, some of those smaller, more intimate venues too are more fun. For sure. Yeah, it's amazing kind of what a comeback some music has had, though. Metal isn't dead, it's just slowly slumbering away. There's gonna be a whole new slew of, I mean, there already is. There's a slew of metalheads out that are playing, and they're kids. They're teenagers that are finding this what we now consider old, or they consider old music. We consider the music of our youth, and they're killing it. There are kids out there that are like totally into Led Zeppelin. I'm like, you're 17, yeah, but have you heard these guys? I'm like, yeah. How have I not? You guys know who Metallica is? Yeah, they've only been around for 40 years. Oh yeah. I just think it's funny. Yeah, 94 was pretty. Yeah, the age of grunge was upon us in 94. And even that was headed out because you had like the new metal stuff that was happening with Limp Bizkit and all those guys that were grabbing, 7 and 8 string guitars and tuning their stuff down to, you know, whatever. And I'm not a huge death metal fan. I'm just not. There's so many death metal bands out there right now. I worked with a guy that was he was a guitar player in what he called American Hell Metal, and it was just crap. It was just noise. Oh, we think of ourselves more of like an orchestration. We're more of an orchestra, you know. You gotta have different parts. I'm like, yeah, but you got one guy that's just screamo, and then another guy that's trying to hit these high falsetto parts, and the music sucks. All right, so I think you can see the pinstriping better now. Look at my hand there. Nice. Okay, I gotta read this. A couple of weeks ago, my son, 15, told my wife that he had a song he wanted her to hear. The song, Dream On by Aerosmith. Oh, yeah, no, I hadn't heard this one before, sorry. Oh, my daughter would come down every once in a while when I was playing drums down here in my basement, and she'd hand me a song like, "Dad, take a listen to this one." Oh yeah, and I'd play the drum part for her, and she'd be like, "How do you know that?" I'm like, "It came out when I was your age." Oh, and then of course she'd hit me with that. Oh yeah, that's right, you're old. I'm like, oh man, come on. Your wife's first concert was a GNR opening for Aerosmith. Nice. There you go. There you go. That's the way you do it. Okay, let's go ahead and do his vest. I painted his vest blue, so let's hit it with some cyan blue here. Excuse me, which will be great because I think I did one of these guys' pants. Oh, and her dress is in blue, so I can use this. On a couple different figures. Neater. Boy, the viewers are bouncing around tonight. That I've seen up to 6 people and as low as 3. Hey everybody, how y'all doing out there? So now we're gonna paint his vest. Got this nice, beautiful cyan blue. She had never heard of Guns N' Roses at the time. Oh my gosh, yeah. Who are these nut jobs? We're just chatting, we're painting, talking about bands. Really want to get back in there. There we go. Nice blue vest. Make that pop. And then we did her pants in blue. So hit that. And baby, put her blue jeans on. Is that a little Conway Twitty? Conway Twitty. There was a guy that used almost as much hairspray as the women of the 80s. Oh, the Violent Femmes. I heard they put on a phenomenal show. Crazy enough, they're from Milwaukee, or they're from Wisconsin. I don't know where in Wisconsin. I don't know if it was Milwaukee or Madison or something like that, but they're from Wisconsin. Just like Cheap Trick is too. I'm like, really? Cheap Trick's from Wisconsin? What? I had no idea. My friends went to New Zealand. Actually, most of the band that I'm in went to New Zealand over. I can't say over Christmas because they weren't there for Christmas, but for about 10 days at the beginning of December last year. And a couple of them got to see the Pixies in the Sydney Opera House because they were doing a show there. So that's pretty cool. Craziest pit you've ever been in was the Violent Femmes. Wow, that's impressive. All right, we got this lovely blue dress here that we're gonna paint up. Yellow submarine. That's gonna look really nice once we're done. Yep, after the stream tonight, I have to pretty much tear my table apart here, get all my brushes and paints put away. Actually, I can't say put away, but packed up. Get ready for Con of the North this weekend. Sorry, I want to read this here. What's this say? Blind Jedi says, love the blue color on that dress. Yeah, it's going to turn out really good. I'm actually going to do the gold metallic metal on, or non-metallic metal on the design on her dress there. Devious Dungeon says, it was so strange and hard to explain. Everyone was just jumping up and down. And when you landed, you would land on someone else's feet, so you would lose your balance, but couldn't fall because you were packed in so tight. Wow, that's pretty crazy for a Violent Femmes concert. Yeah, I gotta get the arms of her dress here. Alright, looks pretty good. There we go. Holy cow. Devious says he saw Slipknot and System of a Down play together. It was at the Peoria, Illinois Civic Center during hockey season. So they put these 4x6 interlocking rubber mats over the ice in the arena. The fans tore one up, lifted it above their heads, and people were surfing on them. Holy cow. And then some girl got up there and did a complete and total strip show showing all of her throwing all of her clothes into the crowd. Wow. That's one for the history books. She obviously had no issues with her body. Very comfortable. Very confident in her assets. So I'm mixing a little bit of dragon blue into our cyan blue here. I'm going to use this to highlight the stuff that we just did. Her mother is still very proud of her to this day, I'm sure. Mom, you're going to have to come get me, but I'm only wearing a towel. The crazy thing is she's now a lawyer. Blue jeans. Rammstein was supposed to open that show, but the fire inspectors didn't approve their pyrotechnics, so they didn't play. Oh, wow. I suppose. Rammstein is very well known for their flaming show, their pyrotechnics. I saw that Raquel Welch passed away today at the ripe old age of 82. Yeah, I've been losing a lot of icons lately. 82 years old is a good run, that's all I'm saying. Yep. Family said after a brief illness, she passed away. Yeah, I didn't think she was that old either. But yeah, 82 years old. It's only a couple of years younger than my father-in-law. He was 83 when he passed away 2 years ago. So, but brief illness, that always makes me think that it was either, cancer or maybe pneumonia or something. Since she was older, maybe that got her. Hopefully not COVID. That would suck. I have a feeling Ozzy probably. His health hasn't been great as of late. So I have a feeling Ozzy is probably going to be the one that cacks off. I think I think Keith Richards will probably continue to live until he has his head chopped off, like the Highlander, because he keeps sucking up all the quickening from all the other older entertainers that are dying, like Betty White. So there's that. I think Willie Nelson. I mean, he's getting up there too now, isn't he? Willie is 89. Holy cow. Ozzy's what, a spry 70 something? A little bit more of this blue here. Keith Richards is only 79. Holy cow. I think it's all this. Ozzy is 74. Okay, so he was. My mom would have been 75 this year. So, wow, he's only a year younger than my mom. Alright, we mixed in a little bit more of that dragon blue. Start highlighting here. I think the drugs and stuff for Ozzy is what's gonna get him. I think it's finally catching up to him. Rob Halford is 71. Holy cow. He's one of those guys that kind of took care of himself. Just stayed in shape. Yeah, yeah, exactly. He's been sober for years. He's taking care of himself. Do that, you freaking live longer. You're not immortal by any means, but jeez Louise. They're still playing Painkiller live? Ooh. Wonder how their drummer's feeling about that. Alright, that blue's pretty nice, man. It's looking good. Just grab a little bit more dragon blue here. For my final highlight. There. Kim asked me yesterday because it was Valentine's Day, because we knew we were going to go out to dinner, right? We ended up going to two different places when we finally found a place to eat. And, but she asked me yesterday afternoon while we were at work, hey, what movie do you want to watch tonight? She gave me three different choices. Most of them sucked. I was like, oh, she's like, yeah, I want to watch a sappy romantic movie. I'm like, okay. It's Valentine's Day. I'll humor you. I love my wife. She's awesome, but you know, cheesy rom-coms or whatever. I said I will watch this movie with you. And it was 10 Things I Hate About You. And I completely forgot that it took place in Seattle. And one of the places was Gasworks Park. And I'm like, oh, I remember going there at like midnight, 1 o'clock on a Friday night. So yeah, it was kind of a fun little nostalgia movie to watch. Realizing that it's been like, that movie was made in 99, so let's see. How long have you been married together? We have been married, it'll be 24 years in October of this year. We started, so here's kind of the story. We had known each other since late 96, early 97. But I lived out in Seattle and she lived out here in Minnesota. And we actually got together over a chat room. Ooh, the internet in late 90s. And either I was in a relationship or she was in one or we were just getting out of one and didn't want to be in one or whatever. But January 9th of 99, neither of us were in a relationship. She had gotten stood up by a friend of hers and saw that I was online. She's like, hey, can I call you? I said, yeah, sure. So we talked on the phone for like 8 hours that night and decided to try the whole long distance relationship thing. The plan was I was going to fly out here for Valentine's Day. of '99, and I did, and I proposed to her on the 15th. Um, and the plan was she was actually going to move out to Seattle with me because I had a job out there, had an apartment with a couple of other roommates, and I was playing in a band out there. I'm like, I'm set. This is kind of where I'm at. And she is just getting out of college. And so I flew back on Monday night. I went to work on Tuesday, and I lost my job. Uh, Within that week, I found out that my roommates were going to move out on me, and I couldn't afford the place by myself. And my lead guitar player ended up getting very sick with some stuff, and the band broke up within a week. And I was like, oh, okay, well that's three doors that have closed. So and I've called her up and told her all this. And I said, if I don't find something better paying than what I was making at this little shop in the mall, I may have to move out there. Is that little music shop that's just down from your parents, are they hiring? And she calls them up, and they said, yeah, actually, when is he going to move out here? And he said, well, I don't know yet. Well, I never ended up finding anything out in Seattle. I sent them my resume. I moved out here in March of '99. I had March 5th of '99. I had the job on like the 7th, and then we got married in October of '99, and our daughter arrived in April of 2000. So, yeah, 24 years later, here we are. Now I'm a mini painter. I play drums in an Irish punk band. It's weird. I own a, I have my house. I never ever thought I would ever own a home and be in one place for so long. It's craziness. It's good craziness, but it's craziness. Where am I going? What else am I doing here? Oh, I need to get some other browns. Shield brown and driftwood brown. We're going to do the stocks of our rifles here. Thank you. Yes, it's thank you. Appreciate that. Your 20th wedding anniversary is January of next year. Congrats. That's awesome. I think anybody that can make it past like 10, 10 years. I've been with this person for, I've been married to this person for 10 years. Great. Make it another 10. Just try and set it up. Just keep going. Because it's work. Because folks that get married to somebody and then realize 6 months down the road, oh, I don't really like this person. I don't want to be married to this person. Well, maybe, you shouldn't have. You're planning a month-long European vacation next year. That's cool. For our 25th, which will be October of next year, we are saving up for a trip to Ireland. Hopefully, the world is not burned to the ground by then, and plane flights don't suck. But that's the plan, is that we want to go to Ireland for our 25th wedding anniversary. So, because she's a quarter Irish on her dad's side, and I am Gaelic Viking for the most part. So I'm using shield brown and driftwood brown, and we're doing the brown wooden areas of the rifles here. I've got 2 I need to do. Yeah, we wanted to do it for our 20th anniversary, just didn't have the time or the extra cash to do so. So we're going to try and do it for our 25th. Since we didn't do anything in 2020, we didn't spend any money because we didn't go anywhere. We got some cash saved up, so we're gonna use some of that and go on a nice trip. I'm hoping to do 10 days in Ireland. That's what I would like to do. A nice 2-week long vacation. Because I know it's going to take us at least a day to get there. DV says we are planning on 2 weeks in Italy, the other 2 weeks traveling around to various destinations. That's cool. My buddy Greg went to Italy 4 years ago. And my guys in the band, they like to travel a lot, so they'll just, they'll take like 6 weeks. Like Greg's got 6 weeks of vacation that he builds up, and right around the end of November, beginning of December, right when it starts getting crappy here in Minnesota, they take off and go to, warm places. So this year they went to New Zealand and Australia. And I think they were there for 3 or 4 weeks. You know what's interesting? They did that about 5 or 6 years ago. They went to Egypt, and saw the pyramids and all that. And they said, I mean, there's guys walking around with AK-47s, but they never felt threatened in any way, being Americans. So they also had some pretty decent tour guides too that wasn't messing around with them. So that's good. Yeah, they've been to Singapore, Taiwan, China, Thailand, France, Italy, England, Ireland, and Holland? Wherever Amsterdam is, I think Amsterdam's Holland. And then a brief stop in Iceland. You're not afraid of things like that unless they are pointing them at me and screaming at a language that I don't understand. Yeah, there's that. I got off at the wrong stop. Please take me back to the touristy areas. I am not supposed to be here. Yeah, that was the one thing too. It's like their tour guides were like, we just go here. We don't go anywhere else. Don't do this. I think they said there was one time that they were a little afraid because they didn't want to miss the ferry because it was the last one out. And if they didn't make it, then they were going to, it was like some kind of curfew type of a thing. Yeah, t-shirts not allowed in the forbidden zone. Yeah, no kidding. Alright. That looks pretty good. And honestly, if you want to have somebody pointing a gun at you and screaming at you in another language, just go to Texas. So I got friends down in Texas. I gotta give them crap. Especially if they ever watch this, they can hear me say that now. Who? Dang, what? Yeah, that's what I said. The Boomhauers. The Buffalo Bills rifle there looks pretty good. It looks okay. What else can I use this brown on? I want to use it on something else. What else can we use this brown on? Let's make our gloves look like that. If you get shot in Texas, you were probably doing something wrong. In Baltimore, yeah. We try not to talk about Baltimore. Oh wait, no, that's Cleveland. Sorry, we try not to talk about Cleveland. Yeah, or DC. Yeah, no kidding. You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. Tatooine? Mos Eisley? No, Washington, D.C. Chicago. Yeah. That's where Kim and I wanted to go on our 20th wedding anniversary, was Chicago. And that's when a lot more random shootings and muggings and violent what have you started happening, or at least were starting being reported more. And it was like, you know, hon, how about we do some day trips around Minnesota? See some stuff that we haven't seen here in this state. Try and stay alive. So we did. Now we're going to try and fly to a different country. Yay! What? What do you people want? It's almost 10 o'clock at night. Yes, I'm well aware, honey. She texts me, you currently got 6 viewers. I'm like, got 7 right now. She's probably watching. Hello? Did you ever go to Cabrini Green in Chicago when it was still there? I've never been to Chicago. The furthest east I've ever been has been Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. That was for Gary Con. So I wouldn't mind seeing Chicago. I've got a couple of friends in the Chicago area. I got some friends in Milwaukee. wouldn't mind seeing there. I hear the pizza in Chicago is phenomenal. Kim would love that. Your ex was from there and she drove me through the outskirts of Cabrini Green. It was a different world, yeah? How was it different? Like, what was it, how was it different compared to other areas? There, got some gloves on her now. Pew pew. If you are seen by police, you will be pulled over if you are white. Oh, okay. So for us, we call that North Minneapolis. So, like my mother-in-law grew up in North Minneapolis in like the 50s and 60s. It's completely changed over now. Just fine. I have no problems with other folks. I just don't. I grew up with them. They will say, "What the hell are you doing here? Follow us and don't come back here." Oof. Pretty dangerous place then. I'll stay away from it, thank you very much. Thanks for the warning, officers. We'll be leaving now. Alright, I'm just going to be on for a few more minutes here, and then I gotta bail and start packing for this weekend. So, what can I... Come on. There we go. What more can I do tonight? Let's see here. That's going to be a process. A lot of these other browns and stuff are going to be a bit. Let's do this here. Let's grab this. We can at least do his pants. Come on. And her jacket. So we're using dark skin and dark highlights. Because we've already got a pretty decent dark brown put down already. On Deadeye Slim's pants here. So grab some of this. And do like that. And this lovely lady's jacket. Uh, I think there are just a couple that have been made into the bones. I know Deadeye Slim has been made into the bones, and I know that there was at least one other. It was a lady with. I painted her this weekend. Um, Shoot, I can't remember her name, and I've got her put away right now. But there's a handful of them that have made into the bones. If you go on to reapermini.com and then go into Chronoscope Bones, you'll find all the ones that have been made into the bones material. All the ones that I've got so far have been metal. Except for the doctor one. That one is Bones Black, I believe. And I've got 3 more coming. I've got the Quigley Down Under one, which I can't wait to paint. He's going to be a ton of fun. I'm a bad influence on you? Hey man, you're the one buying them if you want. I'm just telling you where to go to get them. There's another company out there. I can't remember what their name was. I've seen Steve Dean, who's another great mini painter out there, has posted them. I want to say it was almost like Crop Dusters or something like that, or Chuck Wagon. It's something silly like that. And they're a bunch of Western gunslingers and cowboys and lawmen and stuff like that. I think they're true 25 millimeter. These are Reapers. I mean, these are still pretty small. But the other ones are true 25 millimeter figures. No, but I gave you an idea with the Western minis. Uh-oh. Well, I'll take that kind of an influence anytime then. I really don't want to go to work tomorrow. Really want to take my time and pack my stuff up. But I gotta go to work tomorrow. One more day. I'll have 3 days of vendoring at Con of the North. And I took Monday off to relax. You're currently running a Planescape campaign, and it might be cool to transport the fantasy characters to a Western setting for a few seconds. That would be cool. Yeehaw, Cowboy Curtis. Who are these fancy folk with the pointy ears? And look at that, they got one of them kids with the one of them little midgets with the furry feet. They must be running with one of them carnivals, one of them circus folks. See, now I'm badly influencing you with those tropes. Just getting our highlights put on the cloak, or coat here, not the cloak. She's not wearing a cloak. You fool, she's not wearing a cloak. The party is half orc, halfling, dwarf, gnome, human. Oh, jeez Louise. So they are a traveling circus, then, is what I'm hearing. Are the two halflings, are they bards by any chance? No bards. Okay, alright. Well, then you're mostly safe. I had 2 bards in my 5e campaign. A halfling bard and a high elf bard. And lo and behold, those 2 players flaked out on me and never came back. After a year of playing. Well, I just got busy. Alright, so there's that nice dark brown coat. My hand out of the way here. There we go. The system is easy D6 and bards don't exist. Oh, well, that's one way to not have them. Alright, I'm just going to finish up this guy's pants and I'll probably call it for the evening because I gotta pack. Clean my brushes, pack up my stuff. Alright, there's his pants. A lot more to do, but like I said, I gotta pack, so I don't know, we got quite a bit done. Got pants done, we got a coat done, we got her dress done, we got his coat, well, we got most of his outfit done, which is pretty good. Just gotta do his gun belt and boots and face and such. Other than that, he's pretty much done. Nice, okay. So we're getting there, we're getting there. I am going to have a booth. Yeah, I'm going to be a vendor all weekend, taking commissions. I basically sit there. I'll paint, and I'll have quite a few figures, either for display only or also for to sell. I've been trying to pick out what I need to get rid of so that I can get other stuff up on my shelves, my shelving units. So I need to sell some figures and get them out of here. And then I also take commissions while I'm there, and I try to get them done in 2 hours and get them back to the folks there at the con. But there was a while there where I was so busy that I was having to bring commissions home and then ship them out once I got them done. So, but yeah, so that's what I do. And I talk for 3 days, and then I come home and I am silent for a day and a half so I can get um, uh, my stuff, my voice back. Send you pics of stuff that doesn't sell. Maybe I will buy one. Yeah, I'll whatever I've got left, I'll take some photos of and send them to you. I've still got your message there in my MMG Facebook page, so I can send them to you right through there. So, well, thanks everybody for watching tonight. Really appreciate it. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. I will not be on Sunday because I won't have a voice, and I'll just want to rest. But I'll be back hopefully on Monday night, and so long as I have my voice. If I don't have my voice, then I won't be on Monday. Just need to rest it. But I'm hoping to be back on Monday because I won't get home until like probably 5 or 6 o'clock or so on Sunday night. So I'm just gonna get stuff brought in and get some stuff put away. So no stream on Sunday, back to stream on Monday, and yeah, so have a great night, everybody. Take care, and as always, happy painting. We'll see you. Bye.